Hello everyone, myself Pragna from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering here to present you about the topic of JDBC classes and interfaces. The main agenda of JDBC is the overview of JDBC, the JDBC architecture, the JDBC classes and interfaces, sample JDBC codes, etc. Let's look at the overview of JDBC. Java Database Connectivity or JDBC is the Java soft specification of a standard application programming interface that allows Java programs to access database management systems. The JDBC API consists of a set of interfaces and classes written in the Java programming language. Using these standard interfaces and classes, programmers can write applications that connect to databases, send queries written in structured query language, and process the results. Since JDBC is a standard specification, one Java program that uses the JDBC API can connect to any database management system as long as a driver exists for the particular DBMS. There are mainly of two types of JDBC architecture. The JDBC architecture consists of two-tier and three-tier processing model to access a database. There are described below. Two-tier model. A Java application communicates directly to the data source. The JDBC driver enables the communication between the application and the data source. When a user sends a query to a data source, the answers for those queries are sent back to the user in the form of results. The data source can be located on different machine on a network to which a user is connected. This is known as the client-server configuration, where the user's machine acts as a client and the machine has the data source running acts as the server. Let's look at the three-tier model. In this, the user's query are sent to the middle tier services from which the commands are again sent to the data source. The results are sent back to the middle tier and from there to the user. This type of model is found very useful by management information system directors. The JDBC classes and interface. Driver manager driver. The driver manager, this class manages the JDBC drivers. You need to register your drivers to this. It provides methods such as register drivers and get connection. Driver. This interface is the base interface for every driver class. That is, if you want to create a JDBC driver of your own, you need to implement this interface. If you load a driving class implementation of this interface, it will create an instance of itself and register with the driver manager. Statement. The interface represents a static SQL statement. Using this statement, objects, and its methods, you can execute an SQL statement and get the results of it. It provides methods such as execute, execute branch, execute batch, execute update, etc. to execute the statements. Prepared statements. This represents a pre-compiled SQL statements. An SQL statement is compiled and stored in prepared statements and you can later execute these multiple times. You can get an object of this interface using the method of connection interface named prepared statement. This provides methods such as execute query, execute update, and execute to the execute prepared statements and get XXX, set XXX, where XXX is the data type such as long, int, float, etc. Methods to set and get the value of the bind variables of the prepared statement. Connection. This interface represents the connection with a specific database. The SQL statements are executed in the context of a connection. This interface provides methods such as close, commit, rollback, create statement, prepare call, prepare statement, set auto commit, set save point, etc. Result set. The interface represents the database result set, a table which is generated by executing statements. This interface provides getter and updates method to retrieve and update its content respectively. Result set metadata. This interface is used to get the information about the result set such as number of columns, name of the column, data type of the column, schema of the result set, table name, etc. It provides methods such as get column count, get column name, get column type, and get table name get schema name, etc. Simple. This is the simple JDBC code. These are some of the points which we have to consider in JDBC. Use connection pooling. Why? Establishing a new connection to a database can be resource intensive. Connection pooling involves reusing existing data connection which can significantly improve performance. How do we do this? Use connection pool libraries or frameworks. Configure and manage a pool of database connections. Obtain the return connections from or to the pool. Prepare statements for SQL queries. Why we should follow this is because the prepared statements are pre-compiled SQL statements that can be reused with different parameters. They help prevent SQL injection attacks and improve performance by reducing phrasing overhead. How do we do this? Use prepared statement instead of statement for dynamic queries. Set parameters using placeholder and avoid concatenating user input directly into the SQL query. Transaction management. Why do we do this? Is because the transactions ensure data integrity by grouping multiple SQL operations into a single atomic unit. Either all operations within the transaction succeed or none do. How do we do this? Is by using the connection method set auto commit false or commit and rollback to manage transactions. Commit the transaction if all the operations succeed. Otherwise, roll back to maintain data consistency. Exception handling. Why do we do this? Is because proper exception handling is crucial for identifying and resolving issues in database operations. It enhances the robustness of the application. How do we do this? Is by catch and handle specific exceptions related to database operation. Log exceptions for debugging and monitoring purpose. Gracefully handle exceptions to provide meaningful error message to the users. Thank you.